मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये. This is the invocation mantra. Greetings to all on the auspicious occasion of Hanuman Jayanti. Hanuman Jayanti comes on Chaitra Purnima. Chaitra Purnima, 9th day in Chaitra is Sri Ramanavami, and after Navami, the Purnima, full moon is Hanuman Jayanti. Full moon comes today and tomorrow. It's Hanuman Jayanti is celebrated both today and tomorrow. This mantra, what it conveys, Manojavam Maruta Tilya Vegam. His speed is the speed of the mind. Mind, now I can think about moon. His speed is the speed of the mind. Manojavam Maruta Tulya Vegam Jitendriyam. He has full control over his senses. Buddhimatam Varishtam. He is the among the knowers, he is the foremost. He is the most intelligent. Vatatmajam means son of Vayuputra. He himself is a Vayu incarnation. Vanara Yutha Mukhyam, among the foremost among the Vanara Sainya, Sri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadye. He is the Duta, messenger of Sri Ramachandra. To him we seek refuge in his feet. Ramayana is not complete without Hanumanji's story. Hanumanji's story, there are more Hanumanji's temple than Sri Rama temple. In the Hanuman temple, Sri Rama's idol need not be there, but in all Ramachandra temple, Hanuman's idol is a must. The idol is a must. It is the grace of the Bhagavan Ramachandra given to his foremost devotee. For Valmiki, in the 7 sections, he is a Khanda, 7 Khandas. All 7 Khandas are beautiful to Valmiki, but the 5th Khanda, he called it as a Sundara Khanda, meaning the most beautiful Khanda. Even for Valmiki, the 5th one is the most beautiful Khanda. And Hanuman is regarded as a Mahayogi. Mahayogi, in the one of the definitions Sri Krishna talks about in Bhagavad Gita, what is yoga? Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Skill in action. Our Hanuman is a perfection in that one. He is a Mahayogi. He knows what to do, when to do, to whom he has to do what. And he is the embodiment of the knowledge, bhakti, and not only the bhakti, and he is the embodiment of strength also. So he is an embodiment of strength. We may be very devoted, but when it comes to action, we are not able to do. Whatever knowledge he has, whatever devotion he has, he can translate that one into action. That is the beauty of Hanuman. Not just the theory, practical application. He knows how to apply that one practically. And Hanuman is he knows what is truth, what is devotion, what is strength and determination. And in Hanuman's story, the Hanuman is always alert. Jnani is very alert, not a laid-back person. Bhakti doesn't mean very laid-back person. And in Bhagavad Gita talks about how a devotee should be, should able to treat everyone equally. equally doesn't mean giving treating the jnani and treating the beggar equally is not the wise quality. Jnani, due respect. You have to give due respect to everyone. That is called a sama. Sri Krishna talks about Suhran Mitra Udasina Madhyasva Dvesha Bandhushu Sadhushvapi cha Papeshu Samabuddhir Vishishyate. Samabuddhi, equanimity, the respect to the elders. Elders, they have come here. Manishji's father-in-law. Yes, we have to give a due respect to the elders. If the small children are there, yes, we have to give the respect according to their age, ability. Not that we are asking the children also go and sit on the chair. Sama means according to their ability, give the due respect. If the Prime Minister comes, giving him the appropriate respect. If a Swamiji comes, give the appropriate respect. If an ordinary person of the street comes, give him appropriate respect. That is called a Samabuddhi. That is what Sri Krishna talks about. Samabuddhi in the exam, Sama means if the teacher says, I want to see everyone equally, I will give 100 out of 100 to all students, that is called as discrimination. You can't give 100 out of 100 to all. You have to give marks according to their ability. That is called a sama. If the teacher says gives 100 out of 100 to everyone, it is called as discrimination. You are not honoring person who has studied well, intelligent, you are not respecting. That is called a description. And whenever we embark on a good project, noble project, obviously obstacles are natural. Many of us, we shy away from taking responsibility, fearing the obstacles. Who wants to take the responsibility? Who will shoulder the responsibility? But Hanuman has shown us obstacles are part of life. Not to run away, you have to take on the challenges. When Hanuman set out from southernmost point of India, Bharata, from the tip of Bharata, in search of Sita Devi, the many obstacles came along the way. One is Mainaka. Earlier times, the mountains used to move from one place to another place, and they said, Valmiki also says, they had wings. So it was creating a lot of nuisance for the people, and Indra with his Vajrayuda chopped off their wings. But for Mainaka, Vayu blessed the Mainaka and threw that one into the ocean. So it was saved from the wrath of Vajrayuda. Now, when Hanuman was flying over from Bharata to Lanka, Mainaka wanted to give the payback the respect to Hanumanji. He came out of the ocean and he pleaded divinity inside that mountain. Please come, stay here for a while, take a rest, have some refreshment and go. Hanumanji said, sorry, I am on a Ramakarya. It is not a time for taking a rest. He just touched the mountain and he proceeded. This talks about sattvic obstacles. Many friends also, when we are moving on a noble project, many friends come, they will invite us for a coffee, tea and all. And like Hanuman, gently, politely declined, I am on a bigger mission. And the sattvic distractions come in our way, and not to succumb in the name of friends and how can I disappoint them, not to miss the goal. That is the sattvic one. And the second one, surasa. Surasa comes along, it is a rajasic. all devatas, they wanted to test the ability of Hanuman, whether this Hanuman can do it. We want to test the ability and intelligence of Hanuman. We want to test it. So they sent Surasa, Naga, all the snakes' mother. They sent her and go and test. So Surasa, it's Devanaga. When where Hanumanji was flying, he opened the snake opened the mouth big and said, "Nobody can go past me without entering my mouth." So she opened the mouth for 10 yojana. Hanuman immediately grew to 20 yojana. So that Surasa expanded to 30 yojana, he expanded to 40 yojana. Surasa expanded to 50, Hanuman 60. So Surasa was overpowering Hanuman. Whatever length he extended, Hanuman became so big, even her mouth became even bigger. Immediately Hanumanji, he became a size of a fly and entered into the mouth and came out. And Surasa was highly pleased about his intelligence, bravery. And this one, it is called as a Rajasic obstacle. Rajasic obstacles, the people, when we embark on the noble cause, people, they are there to pull us down, taunt us, and taunt us, ridicule us, and negative comments behind our back. That what Rajasic comment. So you not to waste your time quarreling with them, and cleverly you overcome the obstacles and move forward. That is what Hanuman has shown, how to overcome the Rajasic obstacles. Then the third one, the Simhika. Simhika is like a Bermuda Triangle. Bermuda Triangle, it has a ability to pull the anything aircraft goes, it can pull that one down. Simhika had a ability to Chaya Matram, what is that? Shadow, it can cast the shadow and pull the object down and she would swallow. As Hanumanji was flying and he found it difficult to move forward, something was obstructing, he saw Simhika was pulling him down. A demoness, and it pulled him. Hanumanji went inside the mouth of Simhika with his the mace, Gada. He came out by tearing open the mouth, stomach of Simhika. So she represents a tamasic obstacle. Tamasic people, you have to deal accordingly. No politeness, no playing around. You have to deal like Hanumanji has shown. If it is a demoness, and give the appropriate reply. Not to be very the always folding the hands. He did not say Sri Ram and praying the Lord. You have to do your part. Deal with obstacles, whatever is thrown, accordingly. And Vanaras, that is the tamasic obstacles, you have to deal firmly. So Hanuman's story talks about sattvic obstacles, rajasic obstacles, tamasic obstacles. And another one, Sugriva sent Vanara Sainya, headed by Angada, including Jambavan, Hanuman, to south, and said, you must return within 30 days. 30 days, now still in the politics they talk about Sugrivajna. He was known for his strictness. So Sugrivajna, you must come back, report back, find Sita Devi, 30 days, you have to report back. These Vanaras were searching every bush, every cave. They could not. They were exhausted, tired, hungry. hungry, tired, thirsty, and accidentally they entered the Bila cave, and it is full of the precious stones, lights were there, precious pearls, and lit up, and a lot of fruits, fresh water. Fresh water, it belonged to the yogini Swayamprabha. And Swayamprabha welcomed them and asked them to have rest and a lot to eat. All the monkeys ate to their content, very happy with the drink and the fruits. And after enjoying, Angada told, now it is already 30 days over. If we go back, our Sugriva, King Sugriva, will put us, condemn us to death. Why go back? Let us, plenty is here, let us enjoy here. Let us enjoy this place. Such a beautiful place, enjoy. So, who woke them up? Hanuman. Hanuman said, you have come for a purpose. That, for example, we have come to Australia. So much of luxury, comfort life, and we can go for a long drive, everything in abundance. You have come to Australia, you are comfort seeker. Every weekend you go for a long drive party. Hanuman reminds all of us through Angada, you are not a comfort seeker. You are not come for that purpose. Will you get up, or should I give a blow to all of you to make you realize? So it is Bhagavan, God has put us in a, compared to not in Iran or Middle East or Africa or Ukraine, He made us to live in Australia, lot of comfort. Why? Not to while away your time, do more sadhana. That is why Bhagavan has given day-to-day living is not a problem. You can invest in your sadhana. Hanuman reminds all of us through Angada. You are not a comfort seeker. And woken up, Angada, okay, we'll go out. And they came out of the Bila. They came out of the Bila. And Hanuman is a guru and a life force. In search of Sri Ramachandra, Kapi Sainya, he sent all Sainyas in north, millions of monkeys, north, west, east, and south also. But to Hanuman, Sri Ramachandra gave his ring. Though there were millions of monkeys, they went all direction, Ramachandra gave the ring to Hanuman. So Ramji knows he is the one going to find. He was going, Ramachandra gave that one because he had won the trust of Ramachandra. Ramachandra and in Kishkinda Kanda, towards the end of that one, Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they were coming to Rishyamukha Parvata. Sugriva from distance, he saw these warrior type men are coming, divine radiance. He got scared, maybe Wali sent them, and he went further up. And so scared, he sent Hanuman, go and find out. Is it Wali has sent? If Wali comes, I can't survive, I have to run. And he had a blessing that he was hiding in Rishyamukha Parvata. If Wali comes there, Wali would die. But if Wali has sent somebody, he was so scared, sent Hanuman. Hanuman, in the form of a guise of a brahmachari, went, asked, who are you? Where are you coming from? Only 2 words, 2 sentences. Immediately Ramachandra looked at Lakshmana. Instead of responding, did you see how he is speaking? Only one who has mastered all 4 Vedas, grammar, and language alone can talk like that. Did you see the voice modulation? Did you hear the depth of his voice? And the first love at first sight. And Hanuman carried both of them on their shoulder. Hanuman carried Ramachandra in the war front on his shoulder. When Ravana was fighting on the chariot, Hanuman thought Ramachandra should not be on the floor, so he carried him. So in Vishnu Sahasranama comes 2 times Vayu Vahana. Hanuman carried Ramachandra twice. That is why in Vishnu Sahasranama comes twice. And when he brought Hanuman, the Sugriva, Rama trusted Hanuman, Sugriva trusted Hanuman, and Hanuman brought them together. He brought Sugriva's hand onto Sri Ramachandra's hand as a pledge of friendship, and he lit up a fire, Agni Sakshi. In front of the fire, the friendship. What Hanuman indicates, Hanuman is a guru. If the Hanuman is there, you will find the God. He is the guru, Hanuman Tattva. Without Hanuman, Sugriva would not found Bhagavan Ramachandra. Hanuman is a guru. When the guru is there, Bhagavan can be realized. That one. And Hanuman is called as a prana. Prana is in Upanishad also talks about Bhagavan. Lord wanted a perfect PA. When he stands up, he also should stand up. When he enters, he has to enter. When he leaves, he has to leave. So he identified prana as the perfect vehicle. When God enters this body, prana also enters. When God decides to leave the body, prana leaves the body, leaving this body dead. So he is a perfect vehicle of the Mahaprana. Mahaprana is called as Bhagavan, and Hanuman is called as Madhyama Prana, and this Jiva, soul, is called as Adama Prana. He is a perfect vehicle. And talks about where if there is a darkness, say in the village, we went to Satopant early, say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, still dark, hardly any activities. We are inside the tent waiting for the daybreak. When there is a darkness, no activity, we go into the hibernation, no activity. But Hanuman is like a light of knowledge. In his presence, we get enlivened to higher possibilities in life. That light of knowledge is required. When the light of knowledge, when the presence of Hanuman, our whole body is enlivened. Even at the age of 40, 30, we are exhausted, lost the prana. So what is the upaya? Pray to Hanuman for strength. You need a strength, good memory. The Hanuman graces that one. Hanuman, contemplating on Hanuman, you become an eloquent speaker. And Hanuman resides in everyone. We breathe in a day 21,600 times. Each breath, inhalation and exhalation, takes 4 seconds. In 1 minute, 15 times. In 1 hour, 900 times. In 1 day, 21,600 times. Who is making us to breathe? That is the prana, Hanuman in us. He is making us to breathe. For us, it is normal breathing. For us, Hanuman, for him, he is doing the Soham Pranaya Japa. Hamsa. inhalation. So he is doing hamsa, hamsa. He is doing the hamsa. Hamsa means most pure, ever pure, most complete. Hamsa is Bhagavan, Paramahamsa. He is within everyone. For us, we are just breathing, don't care. For Hanuman, residing in everyone, he is doing the Hamsa Japa, he is worshipping the Lord. He is worshipping the Ramachandra. He is Aradhya Deva, he is worshipping. For us, it is ordinary breathing. Hanuman is doing the Japa in residing in everyone. For him, how much of tapas sadhana he is doing within everyone. So, we call it as a divinity in yoga. Even breathing can be divinized. Hanuman has shown he is doing a Hamsa Japa 21,600 times. He is doing Hamsa, Hamsa, Hamsa. When you pay attention to your breath, you can know it's a inhale, so exhale, hum, so Hamsa Japa. We are also, we can tune, become devotee of Hanuman. We also, he is the Adhikari, Mahapujari. We also get the bit of the merit, Punya. If you know Hanumanji is doing Hamsa Japa, go and listen to that one. You also become a part of that Mahayajna. Hanumanji is doing Yajna here. Nirantara Yajna he is doing. When you are aware of that one, you are also, he is the Yajamana, you are also attending that Yajna, you will also get the Punya. You will also get the Punya. Instead of breathing mechanically, I don't care how I am breathing. When you are aware, you are also part of that Mahayajna. Your life becomes an yajna. Your life becomes divinized. Because Hanumanji is doing the yajna for you, your whole life, that Sri Krishna talks about yajna in Bhagavad Gita, yajna shishta amrita, talks about whole life. It's an yajna, even rain is an yajna, brahmarpanam, brahmavair. Whatever you do is an yajna. So, Hanumanji is, we need not have to go to invite a priest and pay lot of money, do a big yajna. Yajna is already happening. 24 hours a day, 365 days, it is happening. Listen to that one. So, it is higher than you are calling a priest and asking them to do a yajna, putting something into the fire. This yajna Hanumanji is doing. Take part in that one. Your life becomes divinized. Hanuman will uplift you. He will elevate you to Ramachandra. Like he has done to Sugriva, be aware of that one. He will elevate you to the Ramachandra. And Hanuman, people generally says Hanuman means one with a broken jaw. And as a child, he tried to go up to the sun, and Indra threw the his Vajrayuda, and the jaw was broken. It is not that one. Hanuman. Hanu means jaw. Man means best. What we say, Dhanavan. Dhanavan means one is the most affluent person. Bhagyavan. Bhagyavan means one who has a lot of bhagya. And Buddhiman, lot of buddhi. Hanuman means beautiful jaw. It is not to think Hanuman has a broken jaw. Not to think of your guru like negative sense. It is not that one. It is even Vajrayuda could not touch his jaw. Vajrayuda could not touch the jaw. Never say Hanuman had a broken jaw. Hanuman had a broken jaw, and it's one who contemplates, receives the blessings from Hanuman, becomes energetic, intelligent, eloquent, and healthy. And he is the life giver in our life, and our prana gets elevated, higher prana. If you have low prana, I may live for 100 years, not energy. It is, you need to have elevated energy so that you can accomplish great things in your life. And after returning to Ayodhya, Sri Ramachandra called everyone, all the guests from Vanara Sainya and Vibhishana, and gave them presents, thanking them for helping in recovering Sita Devi. But for Hanuman, he said, I have nothing to give except myself. It is not that Ramachandra, he alone could have done everything. It is not, nothing is impossible for Lord. In fact, Bhagavan Ramachandra did not lose his wife. Agni Purana talks about that one, Brahma Vaivarta Purana talks about that one, Kurma Purana talks about that one. Remembering that one, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Vrindavan, he came south, and even he came to Udupi temple, Krishna temple, and as a mark of respect, what he has done, he took the lamp was burning in front of the Krishna. He took the Jyoti from Krishna temple, and he took it as a mark, and he went back and kept it in Vrindavan. That lamp is still burning. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji from Krishna temple from Udupi has taken. And while going on the way to Vrindavan, he went past Chennai, modern day Chennai, and one person invited him for Bhiksha. Please come for Bhiksha tomorrow. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji went to his house. This man is not coming out. And this person inside, he was crying bitterly. He was reading Ramayana and crying bitterly. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji asked, why are you crying bitterly? He started crying, my Sita mother has been carried away by Ravana. I can't control. He started crying. My mother has been stolen by Ravana. And he was crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji also did not know that what to say. And he went out, and he went to Bhiksha, another house. Next day, he saw a Kurma Purana. In that one, when he opened a page, it said, Sita was never taken out. It is already Ramachandra's Leela. Ramachandra's Leela, Agni came to Ramachandra, said, oh Prabhu, you are going to Lanka to vanquish Ravana, and in this battle, why take Sita? I will take her to Kailasa. Parvati and Shivji, they will serve her under their, as a guest of in the Kailas, she will remain. And please allow me to do this seva, but please not to reveal this one to anyone. My seva got to be kept secret. So, and after vanquishing the Ravana, in his place, Indra and Sachi, they were disguised as Sita. They, and Sita's blessing was there on them. Ravana mistook Chaya, Sita Kriti, as a real Sita, and took Indra to Ashokavana. After that one, after the war, the Ramachandra said, told Vibhishana, let her take a proper bath and bring her here. When she came, he said, I don't want Sita. She was there in Ravana's kingdom for one year. I can't accept one who lived in Rakshasa's territory. You go wherever you want. and get into the fire. If you want to go into the fire. That Chaya Kriti, that Indra and Sachi went into the fire, and then Agni brought the real Sita. Others, they did not understand. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read that one, so thrilled, and ran to that person. Your mother was never stolen. It was a play of Ramachandra. That person was very happy. That person was very happy, and this one, the story, the Agni's Seva is one of the highlights in Ramachandra. We do some seva and we want a board there. The donors, my name, how much of dollar. And Bangalore, I saw somebody donated a tube light to the temple, and on the tube light also they have written donated by so and so in a thick letter. Light also is not coming, and it's Agni said my name should not come. My name should not come, and Agni's, even Valmiki also did not mention about that one. Such a seva, such a mammoth seva Agni has done. Ramachandra patted on the back of Agni. It's for his the seva, for his seva, and it is talks about prananam grantirasi ma vishantakaha, praying to Hanuman, please enter into me as a giver of prana shakti. May I live for full lifespan without any disease, without any breakdown, full of energy. And we also must become Ramaduta. You are here, Ramachandra sent everyone. He asked, whoever wants to come to my Parandam, come. But for Hanuman said, you remain here as my Duta, serve. Our aspiration also, may we become fit person to become a Duta of Hanumanji. Let us do Hanuman Seva, whatever we can, wherever we can. So the Karma Yoga, very alert, time management. While he met Mainaka, I don't have time, I'm in a Ramakarya. We also must be highly, intensely energetic. We are here, Hanumanji has shown how to get the qualification to become Ramaduta. And he also expects us to, if you want to become his Duta, imbibe the qualities he has depicted. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam tatra tatra Kritamastakāñjalim Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. And wherever Ramachandra story is told, Hanumanji in the subtle form appears there with the folded hands, with the tears in his eyes, and the word of Rama brings supreme joy to him. Supreme joy to him. So the Ramachandra, wherever it is sung, Hanumanji is there, and let us become a true repository of prana, filled with the strength, vitality and radiant health, free from disease and the weakness. May our lives be guided by purpose, purity, enabling us to accomplish Ramakarya. And all of us, may all that we achieve be offered with humility and devotion at the feet of Lord Sri Ramachandra, the embodiment of bliss, righteousness and compassion. This is the glimpse of about Hanuman's the life. For Ramachandra, Hanuman is the foremost. When before he was coming back, he thought from the Ayodhya, from the forest, after 14 years, thought came to him, the Bharata has been ruling the country for 14 years. After ministers, if they rule for 3 years, 4 years, they don't want to leave the seat. As Bharata also has become that way, he sent Hanuman, go and do the face reading of Bharata. You tell Ramachandra is in the vicinity and observe his face reading. If he feels tensed and not happy, come and report. I will go back into the forest. And Sri Ramachandra trusted him fully, and he conveyed the message to Bharata. Bharata was overjoyed. Whole Nandigram was overjoyed. All citizens from Ayodhya came to Nandigram to receive, and that is how he brought, he is the close PA of Ramachandra. Ramachandra called Hanuman as his the fourth brother. That much of affection he has given, and Hanuman has been given a title of next Brahma. Current Chaturmukha Brahma's period is over. This Hanumanji will become the Chaturmukha Brahma. To that Hanuman, our salutation. Buddhir balam, yashodhairyam, nirbhayatvam arogata, ajadhyam vakpatutvam cha, smaranad bhavet. Ashtasiddhi, contemplating on him, we also get the Ashtasiddhi. Jai Hanuman. Dhanyavad. And